suggestion of a literal secession by a national divorce as the only possible workable solution. Note how all of this is unbelievable. Just benefit.
I meant to call you to ask you, what is the name of that, laser printer?
Lightburn.
I'm trying to see if we can. I don't know if you noticed, because I was had to ask you about, did you have a low board?
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you doing?
This is my room.
Uh,
I don't know.
there you go.
I don't have many people here. I don't
Oh,
know.
there's so many people.
I don't know if I know.
Okay, remind me of your name.
Jennifer.
Okay, because when the person that was saying they were not gonna be here, I was like, oh, I was picturing you for some reason.
No, it's our secretary and then someone else. At least two people said they were going to be here.
Will you be secretary?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I sent an email to Sparksdale and Dr. Bachman, and I got the template and everything, so I'm already. So,
Okay.
I think Vicky said she's not coming.
I mean, you have to have a certain number of people to.
Yeah, and then Tracy said she's not coming.
Right.
Yeah. Sparksdale,
Baton. Oh, it's already live. And then you can put your, this will be our first one.
oh, thank you.
Cheers. And this computer, whenever I close it down, we connect it to. This is, they always have the little steam up their page. I'm always like,
Dr. Bachman.
hey.
Jennifer, you're going to that city's meeting.
How about the principal search?
Yeah, I don't understand the purpose. I try to get them to focus on what's really going on right now, but they want to go in that direction. I'm like,
It's just, you know,
Oh, here.
residual frustration about what happened in Tower.
oh, yeah, I mean, that was,
Yeah.
it's like the whole whole thing. But I'm not sure that's gonna have any, because the question they're asking us to answer doesn't even make sense. So I don't think they're gonna get what they want from this meeting. you
Yeah.
know?
No, I wasn't planning on going.
Okay.
And then for the capacity, I saw you walking down the street.
Yeah.
Going to Inman, I was too far back, so I didn't want to. But I went to the noon one, you know, the Zoom one.
Right.
And, you know, one of the main criticisms that I raised before, I raised again, was we cannot give you input on option one because you haven't told us how you're gonna do it. If option one were feasible, it should have been done 2 years ago.
What is it? Right, I mean,
I mean, if it's feasible to, whatever, cut up a library and create 4 classrooms in here, like, we need to know what we're voting on.
and that's what it was that night, that when people were like, we're open to it, but we don't even know what we're talking about.
Because I said, you know, if one of your innovations is half day in the school, half day online at home, well, you're gonna get a very different input on that innovation
Yeah.
than,
Right, they're putting them,
Yeah.
making the multi-purpose room, 2 classrooms.
Exactly.
Right. It almost feels like, you know, like 2 years ago, I guess, when we were all virtual, like, people were screaming at those surveys because it was like, that sort of doesn't make sense, because if you vote for this, then or there was always like 3 things or 4 things, and it completely split the vote.
yeah.
Right. So, I mean, I'll touch a little bit about what we're gonna do, just, it's pretty minor, it's not really happening. I mean, there's not so much innovation that a middle manager could do. Okay.
I don't think we're gonna have a forum.
Tracy's not coming, Vicky's not coming. So that's gonna be a problem for approving the budget. I can't vote this.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Blair will be, Blair's gonna be, right?
She said she might not, she said she's gonna try to do both. She said she's gonna try to do both.
She can log in from her phone.
Oh, I don't think.
She can't do it.
Well, I guess not. That was just.
Maybe I'll pick her up. Something. Okay, well,
Well, are the kids coming? Desiree and Chloe?
oh, I don't know, and Mr. Steckman. We're curious about, quorum. I guess we could do a Zoom tomorrow or Wednesday to do,
Yeah, we need. Need 6.
Oh, yes. I'm looking for 202 days. Absolutely. I mean, somebody that's flexible, can like do this, but I need a very flexible person who loves to. So someone who loves ADHD, that's what I need. Someone who doesn't want to be at this all day in one place. Richard, yes. This case, he was the clerk, is just really bad, but she's a local. So. No, more. No, I just did change the color. I got, that's fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay, thank you.
Okay, well, I'll just share a little bit about, this will be an official meeting, but just, so we have a projected to have about 1676, 90 next year. So we are a little space, impaired. So just what we're going to do for next year is, the biggest thing, unfortunately, is the CCC. I need that room for a classroom. So I'll have to move that into the conference room right there. The CCC in there, because there is no classroom to move them to. So that's the biggest change. And then we have an additional math teacher coming on. So, social studies. So I'm adding 1.5 social studies teachers. So we're going to need that. And we're adding a marketing teacher that has become extremely popular on Pathway. So we'll have 3 full-time marketing teachers. And that person, whoever that is, will go up into the room that right now it was Mr. Silver's classroom. This year it's been the ABA kind of credit recovery, but it'll be in there. I am still kind of searching for one space for math teacher. Position, but I think, yeah, I'm going to switch the next round. Also, one of the things that sometimes the facilities people don't take into account is the size of teenage bodies and classrooms and desks. They say, you can have 25 in a classroom, but these are not elementary sized kids. They're big and they have stuff. And so you go in some of those math classrooms, for instance, like Miss Cosby and Miss Florida, the double math, which is algebra and geometry, and they have up to 30 kids in there. You can't even live. And the problem is we don't have really bigger classrooms. So next you'll have to move some people around just based on the size of the classroom. We are adding an additional theater teacher. That's another pathway. We've filled up 6 more classes, so we need a full-time teacher. And that person will just have to kind of mesh in with the theater, the black box, we don't have a classroom, but we do have classrooms that sometimes during the day are free. So if they needed to use a classroom, they could. So the marketing and theater are just really, really growing. They're all growing. And what's happening is, this is a good problem, is the teachers, the CTAE teachers, what Stacy knows about this, they're keeping their kids for the whole 3 years. Because usually there'd be some movement because kids would do a wrong one or they do something else. Well, no, they're staying for the 3 years, which is good. So then they can get the pathway, the complete pathway, they can take the test and all that. But so that just creates space issues. And one of the reasons that they're staying in the pathway after 9th grade is because we made the change this year that this is state approved, that if you take AP seminar in 10th grade, You don't have to take 10th grade literature, you don't have to take 10th grade English anymore. So we talked about that before, we are moving forward with that, so that means, so next year we have 10 classes of AP seminar. That means those kids will just stay in their pathway. A lot of them used to drop and because they had to take lit and so that's a big part of the challenge is you've got 10 classes times 25 that are staying in a pathway. So, but it does open up space in 10th grade.
So is there, with 10 seminar classes, there'll be 3 teachers teaching it now? 4?
Yes.
3?
3 teachers, yes, with, right. And we have another, this year we only have 1 research class, we have 2 next year. So I have hired somebody for the English position, we added an English position to do seminar and research. The person has tons of experience doing that now, so that was very fortunate. I've already hired for the math, I've already hired for the social studies. I've got 6 interviews this week for theater, really great candidates. Marketing is what I'm having a bit of a problem because you have to have very specific. They want like a marketing person, can't use business, so try to see if we can move it to where it can be like PR communication based, not straight marketing, because that's what I'm doing. So with that, we do need 2 Spanish teachers. $3,000 bonus for Spanish teachers. There's something like 25 over 29 openings across the district, so Spanish is. So I'm trying to grab some people right now. I've got a couple of interviews this week for Spanish. So.
Who's leaving? It's Mr. Gill and who else?
Mr. Roberto. Yeah.
Will he be coming back?
So we'll have Ms. Goya and Ms. Ortega coming back. And Ms. Goya is.
So I mean, when he get back,
Mr. Lutter will come back.
is
Oh,
it
sorry,
okay?
yes, he comes back, yes. Yeah, he resigned for next year. And Ms. Goya is picking up another class, so she's teaching 5 classes next year. So I'm sure the next year we'll try to work around her job if she wanted to have all the time with kids, but her own kids, but it's looking like that next year. We're gonna have. So that's good. That's how we're. Another thing that's kind of exploded is the world history class, AP World in 10th grade. Again, because of this 10th grade thing, we're going to have to offer something like 8 classes of that, if not 9. So the 10th grade class, this 9th grade class is very large, you know. So, good problem to have. But it is what creates the problem.
What would the 10th grade literature classes?
So they will be small, but a lot of those people that would have taught 10th grade are going to have to teach 9th grade because that's 510 kids are projected for next year in 9th, so it just shuffles them around. A lot of 9th grade classes next year. We are going to offer a contemporary literature class and a women's lit class as well. So those will be 2 new classes in English. So it's not a change, but yeah, I mean, you can see the capacity issues. We just look at these kind of things. You can see that great growth, but it is growth. So we did have some capacity meetings last week. So, you know, they zoomed in or whatever. The 2 options that were presented. The 2 options are 1, innovation, undefined innovation, and then 2 is that Centennial 8th graders go to Washington High. So those are the 2 we want to take them. innovations. I did meet with the captain, we have a nutrition director will be starting at the end of June. Marilyn Hughes is retiring, so I met with the new guy today, like this is last name. Just to talk about some things in the cafeteria, mainly like, well, we need more work. Okay, they're about signing a contract with, yes, the next, so they're looking at signing that, and having enough people on staff is, they're also actually looking at bringing it back in-house. So not contracting, but the people don't work for Sedec, so they're going back to, because they are having an incredible, pretty hard time finding. There will be days that we have 2 people, and that's with Mr. Monday serving food. So we're talking about bringing in some vending machines, kind of healthy vending machines where kids can go like, oh, it's hard. Okay, if you just want to wrap or you want something like that, you can use your number and do that. That might alleviate some of the lines because there are some days where the kids are in line 35 minutes the whole time because there's lots of food service. So some things like that, but the staffing will be a big issue. I told them the more kids we add, it's just a real problem, you know. So I asked if we could do some partnering with some of the restaurants in the neighborhood. You know, for instance, like one day a week is maybe it's Chick-fil-A day or Taco Bell day or Zaxby's or something to at least, again, it's the variety, but it's getting kids fed in a quick manner is my issue. So he was open to that. You know, I always thought that was a big kibosh, you can't do that. But he was open to that. What it would be would be more like, kind of like when we have an athletic event, we buy 150 Chick-fil-A sandwiches and then we sell them at the concession stand. I mean, that's what it would probably be, because then they could sell the side, they could put Chick-fil-A sandwiches, they could put the corn and the fruit, and then they can make it a meal that is goes along with the diet. I get it, they have a lot of guidelines. So he was definitely open to that, which is great. Oh, he was also open to, this is the best thing, is allowing kids that maybe are in the ACC culinary. So you go to ACC and then your senior year, you finish all that, you can actually work in the kitchen and they would pay them $11 an hour, but during the day, that could be word-based learning. So you could get credit for it, get paid, and it would solve a problem for us.
Yeah.
So.
They might want their friends.
I mean,
to
it's
see them
$11
out.
an hour,
But if they know they're getting paid.
and they get
change
credit, and they
and
get
credit.
credit.
So, yeah, it might change the scope for them.
I was just trying to think of anything that would help in the cafeteria, so. That's kind of that. You know, we'll make it work, we'll move people around. The ESOL classroom right now is in an English classroom. I will have to use that classroom for the English teacher that's coming, but we'll find some other space for the ESOL classes that are sheltered, what they call, which is like resource or that kind of thing. So we do need 2 ESOL teachers though, and so I have hired one and looking for another one. So trying to find somebody who has a little math experience or science experience. The hard one. And we're getting 3 of them. I mean, we're looking really good. You know, I like to hire early and get it over with because we always have the teachers in June. So they're going to. So, Mr. Sanderson, who some of y'all may have, he's coming back. So just hired him next year for next year for science. He went with his wife to overseas, she's with Care International, and then they'll be coming back, which is great. Yes, so that is really good news.
Staten,
Of course.
save the day. Now we do.
Okay, so we have enough. We're 4. Okay, to vote on our budget. All right.
All right, so good afternoon, welcome to the town voting meeting, where we will follow the agenda as it has been emailed to you and publicly noticed. I'm pleased to call this meeting, Daytime High School, to order. Our first order of business is to call roll and to review our notes. Hoffman, Newman, Trailer, Rafferty.
Wait, yeah,
Rafferty is.
let's
absent.
say present or absent.
Stanton.
Let's see.
Staten,
Say,
Tanner, Montgomery.
Here.
Posey. Here. Rivera. Here. Muhammad and Floyd are absent.
Sometimes it's just easier.
sorry, but I'm just social security officer.
Just literally just change your name.
This team will only be able to, take official action if the quorum is present. Is there a quorum present?
Yes.
Do have a quorum present. Our first order of business is to approve the agenda. This was provided in copies here. Are there any changes in the agenda that needs to be made?
I move to approve the agenda.
Okay, any opposed? Are we all in favor, say aye. Aye. Miss.
Who's
Posey- Posey second. Okay, thank you. All right, let's look at the minutes from the previous meeting.
Yeah.
Here you go. All right, are there any corrections to the agenda? Minutes, I'm sorry, to the minutes.
No, no, it's okay, just one, my name's still spelled wrong.
We'll have to pass around.
Change your name.
It's Kate, right? Montgomery, Will, Gina,
It's two L, yeah, L.
and Mrs. Staten. Any other corrections needed? All right. So, can we have a motion to approve the previous meetings?
So moved.
Second. All right, so now we will move on to discuss.
Oh, we have to vote. So, yeah, we moved and seconded, so now we have to.
Oh, all in favor say, aye. I'm so sorry.
Aye.
All opposed? So let's go with the budget. In this meeting of the team, only members of the team may participate in discussion. Any members of the public present are here to quietly observe, invite and welcome contributions for every member, and to listen to each other. We will follow the agenda as noticed to the public and stay on task. Respect all ideas and pursue good intentions. So here's the overview of the voting process. You did an update, strategic plan, and you reviewed and update strategic plan. Workshop about the budget, initial budget allocations, discussion and review, feedback, human resource staffing conferences begin, and now we are in the final stage, which is the goal, being final budget approval. Right, so we're going to review the budget. We should be updated based on feedback from the staff and conference, associate superintendent, the superintendent, and key leaders. After review, we need to take action on the budget. Principal will present the final budget recommendations for the budget approval. All approval meetings must be held after staff and conference. Budgets must be approved by, is that Friday?
Yes.
All right, so our major priorities were to provide necessary resources to enhance the teaching and learning environment to support STEAM certification. So we will need resources to assist with project-based learning and collaboration on content areas. We want to value the teacher's time, ensure sustainable workload and offsetting responsibilities with reduced tasks and increased compensation. So teachers will need their planning time, and all will need time to collaborate with team members and as we move to STEAM certification. And we're going to create a collaborative, inclusive, and responsive school culture, embracing the diverse community that comprise the Midtown family. So Midtown is a very unique, has a very unique student population that comes from with a broad spectrum of needs. Thoughtful planning is necessary in order to ensure that students receive equitable quality support, both academically and socially. All right, so this is the breakout, which we presented last time. Do we need to review or? Level of resources for STEAM, subs, communication, instruction, para, resource aid.
And that's the CARES.
The CARES budget is 80 mentoring every students and attendant, we have an attendance specialist and so there were not any changes made to the draft as we discussed it. Oh, excuse me, as we discussed. So you said there were nothing. All right, so here is the budget. Based on our current allocations for the budget, instruction will be 10 million. Plus, people services, 1 million. Proven instructional service, 200. Instructional staff training, 52,000. Educational media services, 151. School administration, 321,139. Maintenance and operations, 600,000 plus, and transportation.
Dr. Bachman, I have 2 questions. For the FTE for instruction, do you know how much of an increase that is from this year? So the 107, do you know what the instruction FTE is this year?
There is an increase, not a huge increase. What happened was the price of teachers went up. So I do the average, and I think it's 94,000 per teacher. Not that everybody gets paid that.
Oh, I'm sorry, I mean, how many more teachers are you hiring? Like how, the 107, what's the number this year? How many, because you talked about.
We have 94 and a half teachers on staff right now.
Okay.
And so we're adding the 4.5 for next year. 5.5.
But this budget is based on per pupil, so they gave $170 for each student, which is like $6,000.
And then my other question, The maintenance and operations, does APS, does that include air conditioning and
It's,
heating? Or-
well, it's all the custodians, it's the building manager, it's the custodians and all of that. No, it doesn't include like a facility.
Oh, so it's
No,
people.
It's people,
Okay,
that's people.
okay,
That's people.
got it. I thought, yeah, okay, good.
I do not want to get into pricing, right?
Yeah, okay, that makes sense, it's people, okay, I understand, thank you.
Any questions? Curious about media services.
Yeah, so there's a certain amount that we have to allot for media services. You know, goes on in here. So we can't touch that, you have to provide that to the media center. So that's what it is.
Oh, media.
So that's what Mr. Montero and Mr. Clay and I think is for the media center.
So this is the same information, just different. See, most of the money is going to. Any questions?
What teacher positions are we adding this year? Can't remember. I know you said that.
Math, English, social studies, 1.5, marketing, and media. And a clerk position. And probably gonna add, I did put in the budget for an additional SST for interventionist type person. So that's posted as well. I didn't want to do that, I didn't want to add that, but it's just until the district can provide that money, it's just something that's, it's overwhelming for one person.
Any other questions? Alright, so the vote team needs to take an action vote on the budgets. After the motion. So could we get a
A second.
all in favor, say aye. EASC. This is the number 1,424 students who are opted out, 12 students.
So this is the thing we do twice a year with them, I'll kind of check point for the kids, it's called basket. We just
So
finished that.
this is the screening.
The screen.
So 2% of the students grade score themselves as extremely. So that is 1,200 students.
For screen.
All right.
But only 2% of the.
Okay.
That sounded like 1,200, right?
Okay.
Only 2%.
I was like 1,600. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying that, right?
Um, 1 second, sorry. Extremely elevated stress, anxiety, what is? that needs to be in
It just, it's a, it's a 10-question thing, and it just comes out to, right, it could be anything, but usually it's, right, anxiety, depression, it's just a screener.
Yeah, I asked some kids about some issues they had in class, and one girl was alone, she's stressed out about school. So these reports are going to be mailed out to, all of the, for the students that took them, these reports are going to be mailed out to them. So whoever opted out, it's not there.
I'm sorry, keep it back, I'm just writing this in.
So this was, optional. They had the choice to do it or not to do it, and it wasn't anonymous.
Correct.
Okay.
There's an opt-out. The parents can opt out. Students out.
Okay.
And that has not been for this, but we can go over it. That just hasn't been finally approved, but we will with the spring ACES. Yes. So remember, this is the thing that I do twice a year in front of central office people. Is, I've got, so glows, the STEAM team, of course, timeline for implementation. Teachers have been provided with PD about the importance of PBL, and arts integration, as well as resources to support STEAM implementation, which include defined learning, an online PBL platform, and PBL handbook for middle and high school. Furthermore, a student group, STEAM teams, has been established to survey their point of view for how STEAM will work in the Midtown cluster. Of course, Ms. Tanner has leading up all of that. We felt like for the grow, we needed ongoing, and we do have more planned professional development needed to support teachers' understanding. It's a whole lot that's being rolled out into action effectively, especially for the arts part of STEAM. Teachers need to have interdisciplinary planning opportunities. More school-based PD days will be helpful. So this is where we were when I did this early February, mid-February. Attendance. These are just statistics that I presented. Basically, and again, the chronically absent rate is students that are they're absent more than 10 days. All schools are attendance.
Okay, so the numbers have decreased some since the fall for the first part of the spring semester. So our numbers are a little worse.
And the attendance take rate is, the teachers know that, harp on this a lot, is taking attendance every class period. So that's a very important measure to the district. I'm not really sure why, but it is very important to the district because I get reminders about that. And then the attendance rate, just on the average, has gone down a little bit since fall 22. That happens every year. Attendance gets worse as the school year goes on. And again, got worse with the problem. So we're having a hard time getting back to in-person school every day, all day. It's a real challenge across the district, but it's really a challenge here for kids to understand that we're back to we are in a normal school that is 7
So Dr. Bachman, before COVID, so let's say the 2018-2019 school year, how did those numbers
It
look?
would have been much better in the chronically absent. It would have been probably 88.
Wow.
Coaching. It's awful across the district. I mean, there's some schools that it's 45%. Yeah, it's just like getting back into that routine. For whatever reason, it's been really hard. You know, kids have also found that they can be absent, turn in assignments virtually, you know, online. And so there's not enough teeth in a policy to not be able to not do that. So if we were to really try to stop that, it would be a nightmare management wise, organization wise, like about, because we'd have to match up, like I'd have to tell the teachers, this is not be able possible. I have to tell the teachers that, okay, this child has unexcused absence for 3 days. That child cannot turn in online any assignments. It's impossible. Nobody can keep up with that. You know, it really would be impossible. I've tried to do that. I've tried to tell, you know, some parents will say, hey, we're going on a vacation. Last fall, go to Switzerland in October, not during the break, can I say? I'm going to Switzerland. Gonna be out 9 days. But she's gonna turn in all her assignments. Basically, she's gonna work from Switzerland. That's what she's gonna do, work from Switzerland. And
This is true.
I mean,
Very true.
I can't, and there's no way to really prevent that. It's just because of the online, because we're online now. I mean, you submit online. If we were back to only paper, it's impossible. So I just had to resign myself, and I can't manage that because the district does not have a tough policy for that. That's the problem.
So what's the penalty for us for this? Like, is there anything, is it just like frowned upon? Like, if you hit this number, we are going to do X, Y, and Z. Like, what is there? That's what, because it's like, how much do we need to worry about that? 'Cause like you said, this is really out of our control. That's a parental issue.
It pretty much is out of our control. You know, I did put in our budget for an attendance specialist next year. Yes, I stopped one position. I abolished the behavioral specialist. We're adding an attendance specialist, which is a little bit of a wash budget wise. To see if we can do anything if one person is completely devoted to attendance. To see if we can, you know.
But there's nothing like this issue is kind of like penalize us or anything like, you know.
Money wise or anything, no.
Sure.
But is it a harsher, is it a harsh penalty for the parents when the children aren't coming to school? So it's really no, if I know that my child's been out and you just send me a letter, okay, and then you send me another letter,
Right,
what is making me,
right.
you
We
know,
only have
get
one
them
person.
to
I have
school,
one child
yeah.
right now, and they've gone to court.
yeah,
And it is extreme, like.
'Cause I know back in
Once
the
a week
day.
at, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So, right, that's a whole big thing, but, right, so you're right, it's the letters, it's the
Yeah.
phone calls, it's the, talking about it, but.
because I know back when we were in school, the truancy officer actually came to your house. And it was like, your kids are not in school. And then it was a trickle down. So you went from one, they come to visit, then the next, then they take you somewhere. And then the next, they come and get the parents. So it's just, I guess, in the scheme of things, there's no real accountability for me or a harsher.
The truancy officers do, at least once a week, they go to Peabody Park, they go to Starbucks, and they will bring back 5 or 6 kids each night. They absolutely do it. No, there's not a penalty really for that. So, everybody's overwhelmed. I mean, defects, everybody's overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So this is kind of what I'm talking about, why you can still be absent and you can be passing. So students that are more, so the ADA is less than 86%, which means 14, you've been absent that many times. There's not, you would think you would see huge failures for the kids that are chronically absent, only 6%. 7%. This is the problem. I can do work at home. We've just gotten to that point,
So I don't know, is it
It's residual from COVID.
But can you say that really, play devil's advocate here, is that really a bad thing? Like, that kid knows that they can do it, and are they still learning? Me personally, you have kids.
Right.
But if the stats and the data is showing that they're still achieving where they need to achieve, it's like, is that really something that, coming out of COVID, this could have been one of the benefits. Some people learn like, I actually can do school online, some people like, I cannot do school.
Right.
So just kind of throwing that out there, just so we don't overwhelm ourselves. But sometimes, because that right there, that's a whole can of worms that we at this level will never be able to.
And it's a lot of fight with the parents. You have to be willing to really fight it. It's not worth it, because as you said, it's not like we have all these kids failing. It's not that.
Doing the work.
So there again is another problem with the APS. that don't have a seat on anymore. So that is, I mean, it used to be if you miss 25% of your history class first semester, you don't pass. But those are some- So. Yeah.
So progress towards graduation.
So, just, you know, we're, the class of 2026, which is the ninth graders. You can see 100% of them are expected to graduate and they're on track to graduate. That's always the class of 2026. And then it gets, you know, so we have in the class of 2025, those are the sophomores right now, 7% are basically not on track in the fall, in the spring, 95. So 95% are behind. That's good. So a lot of recovery, a lot of our efforts, but that means, I mean, that's a good thing that we've got those kids up a little bit more. And then the junior class, 7% are behind. And then right now, the senior class, we've already gone through a lot of the kids that are only going to graduate, they're going to graduate in the summer. They're at that point, they're not graduating in May, they're going to graduate in the summer, so that's why we have 100%, because we've already weeded out the 18 that are not, there's no way, so. That's just our improvement plan, just what we're working on this year, nothing's changed there. I'm asked what support do you need to accomplish your goals, provide additional support in locating cohort students who are transient, unhomed, and are displaced in order to meet our grade target of 90. As you know, we have the largest number of shelters in the district, and many of those kids, they disappear. We have a family of 4 who disappeared last weekend, and those will be on our grad rate. Those will be shelter dropouts. Unless we haven't heard from them in a week, they were sheltered. So that's the problem, is they just so that's and you've seen this before. That's our project.
Okay, any questions or concerns?
Dr. Bachman, will this presentation be on the Go Team website, or can we attach it to the minutes? I mean, obviously I couldn't take down all that. How do we share that?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay,
Just put it in there, Go Team.
okay. So like we could put a link, I could add a link to that in the Go Team or in our minutes.
I'm not sure. Probably a bit fun.
We'll figure. But yeah, I think, yeah, I mean, honestly, I didn't write anything down. It was too much.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, STEAM update. Friday, March the 3rd, we had a cluster day with Hope Hill, Mary Lynn, Morningside, Springdale Park. It was a tremendous success. The students were ecstatic and happy. It was good. The older kids were happy, helping. The younger kids were happy. It was a win for all involved. The PLC focus dates. So we just had one PLC last week with teachers who have PLCs on A days, and this week we'll have the PLC with the teachers who had D days. It was very good. We basically unpacked the standards for the STEAM Georgia Department certification. So we unpacked the STEAM certification standards from the Georgia Department of Ed. Whew, that's a mouthful. And started focusing on the fact that the school focus for next year for the 9th graders is going to be sustainability. We're going to focus on trying to create a garden on campus. And then there are other aspects of sustainability that will be addressed, like recycling, food, free, lot of other things. So right now I'm working on the first annual STEAM Day, which will be Thursday, March 30th, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. I'm going to put out a request for parents. I have 3 parents that are willing to assist. So far we have the Georgia Tech Sustainability Department is going to be partnering with us beyond this. And the Georgia Tech Computer Science Department will be here. The Georgia Tech Women in Engineering Department will be here. Lions Theater will be here. And then the orchestra will also be here, and the STEAM teams will be doing the project as well. Look at the clay. That's the American Sign Language teacher is actually has her kids sculpting sign language sign in her class with clay. We came up with this idea that she has about 75 students. We're going to have the end products in teacher classrooms with information about American Sign Language for display. And then we have a post-planning workshop with 10 ninth grade, because we're going to be focusing on the ninth grade teacher classes, the most for STEAM, and the other classes we'll be doing project-based learning. But we will be having a post-planning workshop on May 31st to July the 2nd. So that is my update. And it's so cool, we have shirts. He was so good with the new kids.
The last second or June.
Oh, thank you, June 2nd. I don't know why I keep doing that. Because I sent her something to June, but I said July. But it is June 2nd, so I'll make that correction. Yeah, that would be a long time. So it'll be May 31st, June 1st, June 2nd. All right. All right, any other questions or concerns? All right, so
And we do have a full slate of elections. I don't know who's on the slate, but we did get the check, we have enough nominees. I think so.
for the voting. Script. So at this time, do we have anyone online?
Questions online?
Anyone that would like to motion for this meeting to be adjourned?
A motion for it to be adjourned.
Ms. Miller. Second is Coleman. So then the meeting is adjourned at,
Well, we need to vote.
all in favor, say aye. I didn't know why, I was, my mind, I was like, we're done.
It's a lot.
All in favor, say aye. All opposed, say nay. Okay, all right, so the meeting is adjourned at 4:52. Thank you very much.